Hello and welcome to Dire Bear. It's Tuesday night, so of course we're playing Valley by Night River City, our Vampire 5th Edition actual play. I'll be your storyteller for the evening, Jason, and with me as usual will be Jeremy playing Egidio, Sarah playing Emma, Eric playing Kyle, and Rappy playing Iola. Ignore the fact that her box says Walter at the moment.
It's situated.
Well, when he gets here and jumps in, then I can just switch over to the other screen with the full team, rather than resizing everybody. Because I'm lazy.
No, just planning ahead.
Alright, so, last time y'all wrapped up a big brawl, burned down one building, discovered that one of your allies was not who you thought they were.
Very not who we thought they were.
Not who you thought they were in every conceivable way. But the threat was eliminated. Maybe your reputation took a little hit from the other barons because you had this odd creature masquerading as a kindred. But the important thing is the threat was eliminated. And in fact, Sammy was the one that led you to where the Bali were. Where they were holed up after your last altercation with him. On the other hand, I believe y'all became somewhat suspicious that he may have been the cause of some of your earlier troubles.
Yeah.
Maybe they just don't like the Camarilla either. I don't blame them.
Maybe they just like messing with people.
Could be.
They are a coyote. Coyotes are tricksters.
Traditionally speaking. But anyway, we move now to a month later. And y'all have continued to sort of, shore up your position here. Kyle had put forth some plans with the other barons to try to squeeze the Camarilla a little bit. Cut off some of their access to getting supplies from outside. But several of you had individual kind of goals you were working on, so I'll just go around and ask y'all what y'all were doing in this downtime. And Jeremy's chewing. Sarah, what was Emma doing?
She was going to kind of follow through with trying to find somewhere, not the Deadman's Drink, to work as the kind of coterie meeting house.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to disguise it as kind of like a office space that people can use to work in. Since there's going to be a lot of people working from home, they might not be set up for it yet. I think we talked about her getting that one area kind of near where all the hotels in the domain are. So if there's people traveling that need to use it, they could also do that.
Yes.
I have a question about it as we do this. Is there still a soundproof room?
Oh yeah, she's definitely putting in rooms specifically meant for... Whoa, hey.
Yeah, that was the entirely wrong thing I switched to, sorry.
I was like, wait a second. Yeah, she's definitely putting in a soundproof room and definitely purposing it for also, meetings that they would hold. And she would also probably have a back, separate entrance that people that don't, need to or want to come in the front can come into. Kind of like maybe...
entrance.
Yeah, like the employee entrance and stuff like that.
So if you look at the map that I set up right here,
mm-hmm.
This big kind of squarish area of the building is all taken up by a bank. This little bitty bit that juts out over here is like their drive-through. Your area, and there's another little storefront, Actually, there's like 3 of them in a row there. The bank uses one of them, which I think ties into the drive-through on the end. And then there's 2 over here. So that would be where you're at. You have doors along the back here, which is like a little, some employee parking. It's where the dumpsters are, that sort of thing.
Yeah. It's adjacent to the Waffle House, which is really what's important.
Yes. Anything going on back there, the Waffle House helps obscure from the road.
Yeah.
The only downside is right across the belt line here is the hospital. Oops.
That's kind of the whole domain, though.
That's true. That's what y'all get for being right here on the border.
Yep.
Just 1 second. As I realized I had the map set up where I couldn't actually show that side of the map. There we go. So, yeah.
And where for the Deadman's is further south.
Right.
I think.
The last word you can see, well, there we go. At the very bottom, you can see the chicken salad chick, and that's the building right across or right next to the Deadman's. It's basically the Deadman's, the chicken salad chick, and then in the same building, there's also like a dental office on the other side.
Yeah, so it's still kind of close to where we usually meet up, but just not dead in somebody's kind of property.
Right. If they firebomb this building, you only lose this. You're only losing empty space that you're renting, as opposed to like a business.
Yeah.
And with a bank, the kind of security a bank has got, people might be hesitant to roll in there and try to firebomb it.
Yeah. She'll work on setting it up for, both having a front that's kind of a business, and maybe talk to Zeke and be like, hey, if any of the employees have friends or anyone that may be looking for some work at this time, I'm just looking for people to kind of help get stuff, assembled, walls put in, stuff like that.
Okay.
You can just pass on the information. She's not trying to poach anyone from the bar, because she knows better. But she's just trying to be like, if anyone at the bar has friends and family that might have, fallen on hard times because of COVID, that needs some work, getting some work for them.
Or if they just want a side gig.
Or if they want a side gig. Or if, they know people that need, like, somewhere to do work from home stuff that aren't set up yet.
So you're gonna be renting this, or leasing this space out or whatever, like during the day as an actual business, and then use it at night, or you'll have like a back room just for your use.
Yeah, during the day and everything, it's for, a legitimate business that, just to kind of cover the fact that it's also being used as, another legitimate / illegitimate business.
Gotcha.
Just so there's people seen.
It's just supernatural legitimate business.
Yeah, just so it's seen that people are going in and out and that kind of thing. It's not just being rented and not, making money and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you spend the month getting that set up.
She also, on her free time, any research she could do into maybe who or what or why the were-coyote would have been there, she'll assist anyone in that if they're doing anything with that. Might not be good at it, but yay! She'll help with that, and every now and then go around to the other Barons and just kind of check in, like how they said they were at the last meeting.
Okay. All right, then, Kyle, what have you been doing for the past month?
For the most part, he finished the move-in, and he's pretty much been trying to find that were-coyote.
Housewarming party!
No. Anyone?
Well, it's called housewarming party.
That's a really warm welcome, Deca. He'd also be more active in if there's any sort of conflicts between the Anarchs and the Camarilla. He's absolutely on the front line. Fighting.
So he basically puts himself on call that if there's a scuffle anywhere, people can call him in as like, you know, reinforcements or.
Yeah.
Now, are you sticking primarily to y'all side of town, or is this just a kind of an open call to anybody that needs some muscle?
He's mostly sticking to our side, like the neighboring baronies.
Okay.
So basically, he sort of leaves himself sort of like, hey, you need some extra muscle, like if someone's like attacking your barony, he'll roll out and he'll start fighting.
Okay.
Other than that, not too much. He's mostly doing what he said he was gonna do. He is no longer remaining at a defensive stance, and he's taking a more offensive role in the war.
Alrighty. Egidio.
Hi. Egidio wants to do two things.
Okay.
Sorry, I have to be the samurai ghoul this time skip. So the first thing he wants to do is he wants to try to rebuild the blood bank into, like, bring it back to a sense of normalcy and make it be a safe place. Maybe he started an ad campaign to donate blood, especially with the pandemic ramping up. Your donations could save lives. That kind of thing. And then he's gonna get a bunch of like dummy social media accounts to just like, you know, keep making it a thing. Do some like Humans of New York stuff where it's like, I was a veteran in the war, and then I needed a blood transfusion. This bank saved my life.
Okay, you don't have any, you know, you've got money, so you don't really have any trouble doing that. Considering you really only need this ad campaign to be kind of citywide, maybe the county. So yeah, you can get some of the local TV stations. I mean, relatively local. Their offices are up in Huntsville, so but you know you can
maybe some radio play.
Yeah, stuff like that's easy enough to do.
Cool. And then the other thing is the thing he spends most of his nights doing, because that's just like yeah, I could just throw money at that, and that's a solution.
Yeah, that's a 15-30 minute phone call, you know, a couple times a week or something to keep in touch with the whatever lawyer you've got actually handling the wheeling and dealing, or accountant or whatever.
And then the other thing he wants to do is he's going to deep dive into Native American mythology, specifically where it comes to coyotes, because he knows, you know, coming from Native American place, those are like an animal that are like, I hesitate to use the word sacred in the modern nights, and yet, and just wants to, because he knows I feel like in Three Dots and Occult, he knows that the majority of the mythos that the kind use have some basis in some supernatural thing. Like all of the vampire mythos come from any one of the clans, just depending on, you know, which flavor of vampire you are. And so he's just checking to see if any of that's any kind of true with our were-coyote.
Okay.
And apparently, Emma's helping me.
Well, you know, it's a lot of, you know, it's maybe hitting the library before they close, and a whole lot of digging through the internet on mythological side.
She might reach out to Harmony too and be like, "Do you know anything about this?" Like, if she might know any more about just werewolves in general.
She knows they kind of run around in their own clans or packs or tribes or whatever you want to call it. Her sire was pretty sure that they came in a wider variety than most of the kindred would think. Because general knowledge among the kindred, a lupine's a lupine is a lupine. You know, they're big, they're rough. Every now and then you get stories about this one or that one having some weird ability or something. She's never heard of anything about, you know, coyotes specifically. Now she knows human, kind mythology. You got all kinds of different people changing into different animals depending on where you go in the world. And other than that, she's vaguely aware coyotes are tricksters.
Okay.
Would you like me to roll anything for this deep dive, or do we just get a lore drop?
I don't know how much lore I can really drop. I mean, as far as you're researching the human mythology of it all, it's whatever you find online. The trick is, no kindred you talk to it's going to have any real specific details.
And none of us are really good friends with werewolves.
Nope.
I think failing any of that, Egidio would by himself drop a line to the number that we had for him.
For Sammy?
For Sammy, yeah.
Silly question, would our emissary guy know anything, considering he knows a little bit of everything? Because we haven't heard from him in a while.
You haven't, but you haven't really been dealing with the Camarilla of late.
Yeah.
Full resources. Egidio would still drop that text message towards Sammy. He'd say something like, "I'm not mad. In fact, I'm kind of impressed. Would love to hear the magician's secret."
The only response you get back is that a magician never tells their secrets.
Ah, so he is revealing. He is speaking back.
Yes. Yes, and he will have responded. I know Walter had sent him a message, and when Duba gets here, we'll go into what his response to. Oh, when did he sneak in?
He snuck in like a nos.
There's always one in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's been here for a while.
About 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
About a minute into my stuff.
I saw the passing of food.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, Duba, let me get you into the Zoom call.
Well,
if you're
I mean,
you're ready.
I
just
ripped off my clothes, which I don't blame you for.
basically, it's like we exchange goodies. All right, I'm changing clothes.
Yeah.
But Zoom is open when you're ready, sir. Personally, I just figured y'all wouldn't have the slot open.
Well, I went ahead and just used the one player down slot that we always got. So, right now, Rappy is playing Walter.
We specifically prepared this time.
Well, due to my new change in position, I'm going to be looking at 10-hour days on a daily basis.
They're fun.
Eh.
Welcome to my world.
Well, that was just why I'm going to forewarn you, because I know of at least a 30-minute drive to get here, not counting if BS happens on 565 or 231.
When does that ever happen?
Always.
Every day.
Yeah, that's Egidio's month, is just spent doing that, and then otherwise just conferring with other the small sphere of intellectuals that he knows.
Okay. Do you let it be known to the kind of the general, folk around town that you're researching this, or you go into specific people and asking them stuff?
I think I go to specific people, like people who, not even on a trust level, on like an intellectual level, of like, this person knows what he's talking about, even if it isn't necessarily in the sphere of lupines. So he'd go to like Solo, for example. He might go to I'm blanking on his name. The the Baron of Wallace?
Cologne.
Cologne, yes, Mr. Cologne.
Okay. Solo doesn't really, you know, Lupine is a Lupine to him. Cologne has heard of other changing creatures, but he doesn't have any specific details on them. He's just been around long enough to hear rumors.
I think Egidio goes to Cologne, not specifically to get information because he's pretty sure he doesn't have anything, but it's just that maybe it'll like blink in his head real quick, and if it doesn't, and that's fine.
Now the only thing Cologne tells you is a lot of times the members of the Gangrel clan will know more about the Lupine than the rest of us as they travel the wilds more, interact with the Lupine more.
Oh, that's true. Make note to talk to the warden then.
She's Gangrel, Clint's Gangrel.
The prince up north is.
Yeah, we're up to Huntsville, talk to him.
Yeah. The worst that could happen.
You've been decapitated and thrown off the pine bluff.
If you're lucky.
So anyway, okay, Walter, so you've had a month of downtime. What has Walter been doing?
I would say he would do probably been working on methods to help security in the domain. Strengthening the local NOS, at least that lives in their sphere of influence. Maybe strengthening bonds with them just to let them know, like, hey, again, we're with you. We're gonna, I'm gonna make sure y'all understand. I'm gonna treat you like family. As long as we can continue to help each other, everything's gonna be fine. Probably try to make some amends of anyone he's pissed off, if that's possible.
I don't know that Walter's pissed too many people off. You might have some people a little jealous that Walter went from nobody to Baron overnight, but that's a general thing that all of you have been dealing with to some degree.
Probably also trying to get in better with Rat just to help, strengthen NOS connections.
Okay. Well, Rat will put, y'all did Rat a solid, so, he's more than happy to put in a good word for you with the rest of the NOS community. Even if everybody's kind of a little bit like, a little upset about the Sammy thing.
I mean, Walter's still mad at himself about it.
But of the handful of other NOS that had interacted with Sammy, none of them had picked up on it either.
That makes it feel slightly better. Not much, just a tiny bit. It's like, yes, at least I'm not the only one that got slightly duped.
But, now, before the end of the last session, you had sent Sammy a message. Do you remember what it was that you had been asking him?
I'm trying to pull from the archives.
We need to talk.
Yeah, it was probably more along as just a simple of we need to talk of that nature. Because Walter's pissed, but he's not going to just outright, he knows that the rest of the Anarchs want pretty much Sammy killed on sight. Walter's just trying to figure out, like, why did you go through the trouble? He wants to understand and get some information. That annoying thing of NOS is the love of information. It's like, I want to know more of why you did it. I understand that you did it, but why?
He gets back in touch with you a day or two later. Via text.
Yeah.
The world needs to be protected from you. Not you specifically. You seem like a nice guy. I'm sorry what happened to you. But, and it's in parentheses, it's in, quotation marks, but you people are a danger. And keep in mind, this is by text, so, y'all had filled him into the whole being careful how you talk about stuff online because there's hundreds.
Yeah, if we didn't do that, then who knows what could be chasing him now. But anyway. He'll kind of mull that over. Like, he'll probably take a little while to respond to that. Or probably just not respond at all. Just reading that message and be like, that's probably what just about any other kind of race thinks, so that's not a shock to me.
Not really even something you can argue with.
Yeah, it's like, man, that kind of spitting, actually.
How about I say, no, he kind of hit that square on the head, so, I can't really be mad at his statement. He'll probably actually just leave that alone after Sammy responds. Just like, all right,
Okay.
Well, I see where this stands.
All right, then you start building up connections with the rest of the Knots community, which you had already been doing, but you kind of kick it into overdrive.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Clearly, our security has some holes in it. We need to be a little more on point.
Basically.
Now, Iola, you kept drawing the devil card, so you didn't, you didn't come out much.
Thank you. Baby.
Oops.
Sorry, it was me.
But
yeah.
So like the day after all this goes down, you show back up and they fill you in. Is there anything particular Iola would be up to in that month?
See if she would get anything concerning Sammy, like maybe where he's at, or like anything would probably pop up.
Just for the fun of it, draw me a tarot card for Sammy.
Ooh.
Just gotta do the whole shuffle. Oh, shuffle. Oh. This one, 3 of Cups. Upright. See.
Alright, in the 3 of Cups, 3 young women dancing with each other in a circle, raising their cups high in the air, in a toast of joy and celebration. They look to one another with appreciation, honor, and respect, and are bound by their emotional connections and friendship. There's a sense of lifting each other up and celebrating each woman's unique contribution to the group. The ground is laced with flowers, fruit, pumpkins symbolizing the celebration of the abundant harvest and the goodness of life. And you said upright, so yeah, the keys, they're celebration, friendship, creativity, and collaborations.
Well, there was collaboration. Whether or not it should be celebrated.
Well, if you're Sammy, it probably should be. I mean, he called y'all in to help take out the Bali.
Mission accomplished. Swish.
The emotional connections one, that's interesting. But overall, the month goes fairly quietly in your domain. There's a few little incursions where, the Camarilla try to sneak somebody in and y'all kind of run them off, Nothing that gets anybody sent to the final death, but not any major, any major dust-ups on y'all's border. Over in Paget and August's domains, there's some big enough fights along the riverfront that it makes the news, it's more gang violence. Which Maddox manages to spin so that the news stories are like gangs trying to smuggle things in, which is causing more police attention on the riverfront, which is an inconvenience to the Anarchs to some degree, but it's hitting the Camarilla more. So it's helping in that, shutting down their way of smuggling stuff in. There's a few scuffles on the outer barrens to the east. The ones that are along the highway, where they've been trying to stop the Camarilla from being able to smuggle anything in. That's really where most of the last month's conflict has been coming from. Now, when we start up with the sun setting and y'all rising, everybody give me rouse checks.
How much XP was it total since I've been gone? 5, right?
I think so.
Yeah, 2 for the last one, and then 1 for each one before that. So.
Okay.
Alright, so Walter gets a little hungrier. Iola does not.
Cheeto gets a little hungrier. But, Oh, was I able... I guess I'll do that too. Is Egidio would, slowly but surely... he fixed all of his aggravated track. Now he's gonna fix his regular track over this month.
Yeah, silly question. Aggravated willpower would heal over time? Or is that something you'd have to roll for?
That's superficial.
No. Aggravated willpower damage.
I'm trying to remember how aggravated willpower...
I think that's something specific.
Okay, I'll try and look it up.
Okay. Might have to do with your touchstones or something.
Yeah.
Did my health go back to full since I killed my ag? Or do I still have to roll for it?
You've had a month, yeah. Surely to goodness you'd have gotten it healed up by now.
Yeah, because I made a point to get the aggravated out of the way.
Mm-hmm. I think Emma maybe even helped you some with that.
Yeah. If there was any left, she would have helped, during, assisting with studying.
Okay. Well, he's ready up on hunger too. Let's go.
Alright, Kyle, what are you doing when you first get up?
He is going out and he's hunting. Not needing to feed, but he's worried about other lupines getting in.
That's fair.
He's out on the prowl.
Alright, give me a wits awareness.
Sure. Wits awareness. Probably wouldn't involve scent at any point with this, would it?
No, that's exactly what this one involves.
Oh, well, alrighty then. Cool. Oh yeah, that's right. He did get Sammy's scent off the mask. 2, 3, 4 successes.
Yes, you're pretty sure you would recognize Sammy's scent in either of his forms now.
Okay.
And sure enough, when you start patrolling the domain, you're catching a whiff of him.
Fearing.
Now, it does not smell particularly new.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly sometime during the day.
Mm-hmm.
Not like he just walked by or something.
Yeah.
Nope, that's not the map.
It's an older scent, but it's still there.
It's an older scent, but it still checks out.
Fair enough.
But you smell it up here in some of the housing close to the courtyard apartments.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I should probably jump to that map. No, that's the... Sorry, I jumped out to the southern map instead of the northern map. Because, why label things?
It's too easy.
Mm-hmm. You want a challenge when you're streaming live.
Exactly. Quick aside while you're doing that, I did find the aggravated willpower damage thing.
Mm-hmm.
I linked it in the chat. She would have probably been able to replenish it over the month. It's acting in accordance with their ambition.
Okay. And what is your ambition?
Yep. I probably have it written down. Give me a second. But, yeah.
Alright. So the scent is... It seems to have done a lot of walking around in this neighborhood. That's, like... That's the courtyard apartments where y'all had a little encounter that one time.
Yeah.
And then you get this neighborhood here.
Mm-hmm.
Which is probably the largest concentration of actual people in your domain.
Right.
Are
we on the domain map?
This is a close-up of the northern part of the domain.
Okay.
So, like, right here is the hospital across the street from you.
Right, okay.
You can see the chicken salad chick is right there at the bottom.
Okay.
So that's like the very top of the mall parking lot there.
Gotcha. Okay, so where did you say I found the scent again?
Over here in this neighborhood here.
Okay. He's gonna see if he can, if he can find it, sort of like start tracking it.
Okay. So you pick the scent up. Back here in one of these parking lots.
Mm-hmm.
I think is there a package store back there? Anyway. Literally, when you trace it to its origin, it's literally a parking space. Like he probably drove in and then got out and walked around.
Right.
He seemed to just go up and down the streets in this neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like maybe he was getting the lay of the land or something. But there's one particular townhouse in there that he seems to have spent more time. The scent's stronger there. He seems to have spent more time there.
Okay.
I mean, if you loot the house, he's been in the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
And then best you can tell, he kind of follow, traced his trail back to his car.
Mm-hmm. So it's like he was looking for something, sort of.
Looked like it. But there was something about that house that interested him.
Okay. Good to know.
Let's see. And while you're doing that, Egidio, what are you doing when you first wake up?
Wake up. I'm like, oh man, this month has gone by pretty, uneventfully.
So clearly everything must explode soon.
Yeah, No, that's the way that works. Looks down, where his bed is, sees the highly illegal grenade launcher still there. Just like, good. And then, heads out, goes about his day, just kind of walks leisurely. I think he wants to follow up with the blood bank and see, he wants to try hunting, but he wants to see how it's looking on the outside before he actually begins the hunt, as it were.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll my hunting roll though.
Yeah, go ahead.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, cool. 6 dice. What I still count? So far, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 successes, 5 successes.
All right. Yeah, your inside man has got you a little supply.
Okay, good.
Over the past month, things have calmed down. There hasn't been any more of that. Any more vandalism or anything in the area. They've slacked off having security on site.
Perfect.
They are getting ready to install some more like cameras that watch the parking lot and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of basic security stuff.
Yeah, it's fine. They can watch the parking lot all they want.
It's something you might have to be careful of.
I come in with my suitcase that looks like a cooler, and leave with my suitcase that looks like a cooler. No one asks questions.
But
yeah, that's perfect for me. So he'll take a pretty good supply. He'll dip one to keep himself at ease, and no resonance. Well, it didn't have resonance anyway, but no anything else off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that little jaunt, he goes to the office space, because I think at this point Emma has told everybody, hey, go here instead.
Yeah. You knew she was working on it last month. It's probably been open up and running for at least a week at this point.
There's also a very unsubtle text from Kyle that says, "Stop meeting here."
Stop putting my bar in danger.
And I sent the Bugs Bunny gif of no. And then I go to the office.
But and Kyle, over the last month, Zeke seems to have calmed down a little bit, where he was getting a little nervous about all the weirdness. The past month, business has been back. It's felt like getting back to normal for him. I mean, other than all the lockdown, COVID stuff going on. Emma, what are you doing when you wake up?
Usual checking emails and stuff like that, but probably going over to the office space just to do bookkeeping work and stuff like that. And until she really hears anything else, she'll probably start most evenings there and then maybe go out on patrol. But if she knows others are out on patrol, she'll make herself kind of there as a central meeting place.
Now, have you let emissaries and stuff from the other barons and your contact with Stanford or Stafford?
She would have let them know to reach out to her as in regards to where to meet, if they needed to meet with any of the barons versus going into the Deadman's drink. And if anyone had come to visit her within the last couple weeks, she probably would have had them meet there or just at another location if that place wasn't quite up to being ready to go.
Okay. But your plan going forward would the emissaries meet you at the this office area?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was going to be like y'all's, kind of the public, this is where you meet the Barons at office, or it was just going to be where the group met up kind of in secret.
It's more of where if you would like to reach the neighborhood watch, please leave a message at this location kind of thing.
Gotcha. Alright, so yeah, you're there, you're doing whatever bit of paperwork and accounting needs to be done for the legit business. Let's see. Iola, what do you do when you wake up this evening?
Well, of course I checked the cards, and cards were good to come out today. So,
Yeah.
you'd go just, walk about, see how everybody's doing. Probably check out the new place that we're supposed to be meeting up at nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be much funnier if Iola just went to the Deadman's drink.
No, she was included in the text blast.
Okay.
Yeah, she was.
So yeah, nothing exciting there. I forget, does Iola have a vehicle or does she walk everywhere?
She walks everywhere.
Okay. So it's a little bit further walk from the Deadman's drink, but not by much. You get there, the big parking lot's just about empty because, the bank is already closed by the time it's getting dark. At least during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Only person in the office currently is Emma.
How's everything going today, Emma?
Oh, hi. Cards let you out?
Yeah, it wasn't the same card day after day after day.
It's going okay, as far as I'm aware. It's been quiet. Paperwork kind of holds up a stack of papers.
Need help?
Nah. Probably just keep one person doing it versus getting all of us involved in this one.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
Too many chefs.
Malkavians are probably great at creative accounting.
No.
I mean, we can color code them.
No. I've got a system going. Should be okay. I appreciate the offer, but I'll take care of this.
And then she'll go and head to the Deadman's drink to chill there.
Just like the ambience better, huh?
Yeah. People watching.
And you see the usual. Well, actually, come to think of it, I take that lie back because lockdown is definitely in full effect now. So there's really nobody there but the employees. Maybe a couple of people are eating out on the bench area out front. So there's not as many people to watch as there used to be. Though if you walk into the building, nobody tries to throw you out because, they know you're one of the boss's buddies. So
Yeah.
Walter.
Yes, sir.
All right. When you get up, what are you doing?
Probably checking emails, checking in with the Conspiracy Discord / Nosferatu Discord. Checking to see if there's anything interesting going on he needs to be aware about. I'd imagine he'd also probably have another Discord set up by now for some of the NOS to just kind of drop hints of like, hey, saw this happening, may want to check it out, that kind of thing. Unless that just falls underneath the conspiracy Discord. Then
That's really what the conspiracy Discord is for.
Alright.
Like you got, like you got them talking about the smugglers that there have been, fights with, and reports of shots fired on the riverfront and over on the highway. Basically, with smuggler being code word for the cam. But it's all vaguely worded.
Okay.
So if somebody stumbled into it, they just think they were talking about the news reports of the whole gang violence thing.
Yeah, and if there's anything new, he'll just kind of, have his trusty pad and pen he keeps by his computer, just kind of jots it down in the code lingo as it is, and just takes mental notes of like, alright, so they did this today, they did that today, ooh, they did that last week, and now they did it again, ooh. Things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Just taking mental notes, keeping tabs.
Okay.
If anything, if there was a mass text that went out about the new place that was set up, he'd probably see how easy it is to get there via the underground, and see what spots he can get come up at when meetings or whatnot has to adjourn. But unless there's something, and he'll probably text him ahead of time like, hey, might swing by, do you need help with something? If not, cool, I understand.
Nothing big going on. Always welcome to swing by. Implemented the new kind of computer security measures he had suggested.
Oh, fantastic. I'll just pop in anyway just to check, make sure everything's working.
Okay. Front door will be locked, and she'll give whatever time that she's set up to close it up at. Probably if it's being used mostly during the day right now, probably 7, 8 o'clock. Lock it up, and then she'd have the code that everyone kind of knew for the back door.
Mm-hmm. And Walter, go ahead.
Oh, you're good. Go ahead, sir.
I was going to say, you're kind of in luck, about, how you can get around to this area. Because the sewer storm drain system, mostly storm drain in this area. Since this is such a commercial area and there's so many businesses and so many banks and so many hotels, most of your domain is pretty well laced with the storm drain tunnels and stuff.
Perfect. I can get anywhere.
And I'm even going to be nice and give you a manhole cover that is back here in this back area behind the building.
Woo!
So it's like,
It's a manhole cover.
That's right.
Yeah, I can.
Shimmy.
He's got to probably do that funky thing some people do to get into tight spaces. They got to put that one arm in first and contort and.
Once you get the shoulders through, you're fine though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he just gotta do that odd shimmy where he's gotta pop one shoulder out and then work the other up. Trust me, it's gonna be a pain in the ass to run away and use that as a way to get down. If he's gotta hurry.
Get stuck T-shaped in the manhole.
The rest of the Barons are gonna run up and jump on your shoulder to get you to go in.
You gotta grease him up.
I'm now imagining a skit from Looney Tunes where Daffy's just jumping on bugs, shoving them back down in the rabbit hole.
It's fine.
No, I'm picturing the sewer workers come by to do something. Who in the world keeps grease to the edges of this manhole cover?
They have to put out a PSA on television.
Why is there a Canis WD-40 right there?
Industrial spray size. Walter can no longer hide because it just smells like WD-40.
Yeah, puts me at disadvantage on stealth.
I don't know where he's at, but I know he's in the room.
Wait, did you just slip there? He probably just walked past.
But
Yeah, if anything, he'd wait till closer to designated time and just kind of go check the place out and,
okay.
actually pop in and see how Emma's doing. This is where he's going to have to probably come by more often for meetings.
And you've got computer access to stuff here, so
I'm now imagining this big hulking SOB with just like a tiny laptop, good enough for just one hand to work with. Oh, the comedic things we can think of for this poor character.
Little tiny workbench.
All right, so
that'd be his evening.
All right, so while the two of you were there, okay, help me. I blanked on y'all's sweeper's name.
Mike.
Is it Kincaid?
No, it's Mike.
Kincaid was his right hand man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike comes in, and during the past month, he's recruited a few extra muscle.
Double checking. I have him written down on the map. If it'll load, there we go. No, sorry, Miles.
Miles, Miles sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's like Mike.
Oh, yeah, Miles.
So Miles comes by, and like I said, over the past month, he's hired a few extra people. Well, I should say hired, recruited to assist him. Including a crew that some of you had a little encounter with.
The bikers?
Yeah, he's got the bikers on his side. There was an awkward, because he brought, everybody he recruited, he brought by to meet y'all, make sure you knew who they were, they knew you were the bosses, and this, that, and the other. So there was this awkward, little encounter with, I can only imagine Kyle give him kind of the death stare the entire time they were in the room.
Probably.
And they were kind of apologetic, but didn't actually apologize. It was just kind of, hey, we jumped to conclusions. We assumed y'all weren't tough enough to, handle the job. Clearly you are, you've been taking care of stuff, Never quite says he was wrong or that he's sorry. Never quite shows a weakness.
Yeah, they're not going to.
But doesn't seem to have doesn't seem to have any trouble taking orders from you now.
I like them already.
So you really haven't had to deal with them personally. Miles and Kincaid tend to handle that.
Yeah.
And they're less going out and patrolling every night, and it's more like their own call. At the moment there is trouble.
They're the brute squad.
Yeah, basically. But Miles comes in. Barons?
Hey, Miles.
And he just kind of comes over and kind of sits on the edge of your desk.
What brings you to our humble abode?
Just gonna fill you in on a few things. Some of the guys a night or two ago noticed some going-ons on the roof of the hospital.
Going on?
They weren't really sure, just a lot of movement on the rooftop. So I've had some people kind of keeping an eye out. There's been a lot of people up there watching the domain with binoculars and some of those cameras with the big lens, the telescopic lenses. So far, none of my guys have reported seeing like any, sniper rifles up there or anything like that. But they seem to be using the roof of the building as like a watchtower to keep an eye on us.
Advise the others to kind of change up their patterns. Don't make it obvious. If you have to take the long way around or change up meeting locations to avoid getting spotted, don't be afraid to do that.
Okay.
I don't want to be predictable.
I'll pass that word around.
And I'll pass around to the other barons too that probably either take a different entrance in, or those of us that are more, she kind of glances over at Walter, more stealthily inclined, be more stealthy coming in if we can.
He's like, probably not a bad idea. But anyway, what did you know about, this, since this is a new development, I want to make sure you knew about it.
Oh, I appreciate the update.
I've told the Blue Bloods in the mall about it. Well, I told Ada about it. I'm sure she would have filled them in.
Yeah, she's good about passing on information.
Because I had suggested them sticking some of their own people on the roof of the mall to be kind of keeping a watch.
I'm just picturing them watching each other back through binoculars now.
Some of the more childish of them are using the binoculars to start playing rock, paper, scissors with the cam.
Cam probably don't play back. Buzzkills.
You say that, but if you talk about the common foot soldiers, do remember during the World Wars, the regular soldiers got bored and played soccer with each other occasionally.
Fair. So, and our Cam rock, paper, scissors tournament is now canon.
Twice, please. Shoot!
But,
any more sightings? Was it Miles and Kincaid that had reported seeing the dog last session?
I think it was Kincaid.
I want to say it was Miles.
Miles told you about it, but I think it was something Kincaid had told him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should ask about that. Any more odd dog sightings? Any additional coyotes in the area that we need to know about?
He hasn't seen anything. Kincaid hasn't seen anything, but he has talked to some other people that think they've seen a wolf in the area, yes.
Could just be displaced.
Yeah, could also have been a big dog. Could have been, if it was a coyote that we saw earlier. I mean,
double checked it wasn't Shiloh, right? And assuming they would all know what Shiloh looks like.
Probably so. And Shiloh's a decent sized dog, but is a normal sized dog for his breed.
Okay.
For now.
For now. Okay. Just figure. Haven't heard anything else on that front, but.
I'll tell you all about Navajo mythology.
Yeah, let me talk to you for 3 hours about trickster mythology and different cultures.
That sounds fascinating. Oh, wait, I think I got a text. I gotta go.
Yeah.
Yep.
But maybe hit Ada up about that. She seems like the nerd, the intellectual type that would enjoy that.
I don't know, I think even her nerdiness has limits, but I'll keep it in mind. Anything else fun?
And he fills you in on some of the skirmishes that have been going on elsewhere in town. While he doesn't want there to be any excitement, he's getting a little nervous about how quiet it's been. That's just not how that works around here anymore.
Oh yeah, no. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop too. It's been too quiet for too long.
Won't be a shoe, it'll be a hand grenade.
Or another firebomb.
Now, Kyle, when you were finishing up your patrol, where were you going to go?
He was just gonna kind of just keep patrolling until he got hungry, or if someone texted him said they needed him.
Okay.
Mostly, he's kind of on the same wavelength as Miles. Is he doesn't like the quiet, so he's keeping himself on patrol in case he needs to quick respond to an incursion of some kind.
Emma would just put out a general text in the Baron chat and be like, hey, the most recent newsletter dropped. I just need you guys to double check some stuff on it and make sure it's all good. Basically, she would have let them know that's code for, hey, Miles dropped by and I got new information.
Yeah, Kyle's response would be, anything pressing you need me to do while I'm out?
You mentioned that some folks have seen some strays around, so just keep an eyeball on that. But other than that, nothing new except the usual looky-loos across the street.
Fair enough, I'll keep an eye out.
I take it Miles is left by now? Or is he still kind of hanging out?
No, he once he makes his report, he kind of goes on about his business.
Yeah, as Walter's like just kind of looking at his little computer and tiny desk, he'll just kind of casually be like, "So, if I didn't mention it, Emma, unfortunately, I did get a response back from Sammy."
No? Did it lead to anything?
Nothing that I haven't been told before. Apparently, I'm not a bad person, but however, the world needs to be protected from our kind. So, nothing new. I wish he would have at least given me a little bit more, but be honest, I left it at that when he responded with that remark.
Well, and if he happens to reach out again, or if you happen to reach out again, just let us know.
That's the plan, but quite frankly, with that comment, that gave me enough information.
I'm still not convinced he's... I've been wrong before. I was wrong about him when I thought he was a Nos, so... I mean... Maybe there is some way that the two sides can work together, but maybe it's just better to leave it at... He helped us once, don't push our luck.
That's what I'm leaving at. Also, don't feel too bad. From what I understand, some of the other Nosferatu that had contact with him didn't realize it either, so... Don't feel too bad.
Reassuring.
Meanwhile, over the dead man's drink. Iola, you're over there, people watching. And it's up to you how you're doing this. I just sort of picture you literally just sitting, inside, sitting in one of the booths at the window, just staring out the window at the people eating.
Yeah, just staring.
Back behind you, you hear one of the staff go, "Oh, sir, the dining area inside is closed. If you want to order something." No, I just need to talk to Kyle or Emma or her. And then he walks up to you. Miss Iola, wasn't it?
Yes.
And you recognize this guy. This is Furman Dorsey. Y'all had recruited him to try to organize the Thin Bloods. Just as a reminder, who he is.
My boy.
Okay.
And then he morphs out to a werewolf and claws. No. I've had a little one. He pauses. He takes a breath, even though he doesn't have to breathe. He kind of glances around to see just how close any of the employees are. One of the another member of the chemistry club that I run has had an unfortunate accident.
Oh.
Yes, a very unfortunate accident.
Are they still with us?
No. I wasn't sure who I should contact about it, but I figured the Baron's always here. I'd come check here. Are you the only one here tonight?
Everybody's out and about. Iola will pull out her phone and be like, one of the chemistry kids died.
Emma looking at her phone like, we gotta really work on code.
It is code.
Like, somebody died!
One of the chemistry kids died!
Send a YouTube video of taps.
Emma, just 1 second. Emma's processing.
Walter looking at the same text. Who on earth is the chemistry students?
The Thin Blood Alchemists.
Oh, those buggers! I almost forgot about them.
I was kind of funding them.
They've been very quiet ever since you set them up. Furman has come to you with here's some supplies we need.
Yeah, she would keep in touch with them. Emma will be like, if they need to talk, send them on over to the office. I'm here, but I can definitely help them with any arrangements that need to be done or anything like that. It's an unfortunate accident.
You'll look at him and be like, Emma's opened up a new business, and here's the address.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's right over there.
Yeah, she said you should head over there. She wants to personally give you her condolences.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. I'll head right over there. She heads out. One of the wait staff's like, somebody died? What happened?
This group that Emma was funding to help, I guess one of the kids passed away.
Was it COVID?
Probably. They didn't tell me.
Oh.
They just let me know, and I know Emma was really close, was helping these kids, so I let Emma know.
Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, then she goes back to work.
What was that, Decca?
The world could use more chemists.
Just let the Thin Bloods cook.
Well, one was cooking all right.
Oh, cooking club would have probably been an even better way to code that up.
How did they die in a cooking club? Horrible, horrible flambe accident.
Alright, so a few minutes later, Emma, there's a knock on the front door since the door's locked. You hear the door rattle and then you hear a knocking on the glass.
She'll go up and open it. Sorry, I probably should have had her send you around to the back. Come on in. He locks it behind him.
Oh, so this is like y'all's new office?
Yeah, it's having everyone meet up at the bar and then it keep getting attacked and firebombed and just very obvious.
Yeah, and there's always a lot of
looky-loos from across the street.
Well, I was just going to talk about the normal people that are always working there.
Yeah.
I mean, at least until later at night.
Yeah, it takes some pressure off them too. Who died? What happened?
His name was Franklin. Franklin Ingram. And maybe he'd introduce you to this guy at some point.
Yeah.
You know, not really anybody you knew. But we didn't hear anything from him last night. And then tonight, Lyra went by to check on him. Well, she found his body. He'd been pretty roughed up. Like, we probably don't want the police to come across him.
Make some contacts real quick if you're okay giving the address.
I'm right here. I've got it.
Or Judy will take care of it.
Show me the deceased.
What was that?
Show me the deceased.
Oh, show him to you. Well, yeah, I can take you over there.
That will work. Do you have a vacuum in your, or like one of those? Do you have armor on a vacuum? Armor on a vacuum.
Oh, I think it's armor on a vacuum, like battling Roombas?
We can check. I think he had a shop vac at the very least.
Perfect. That'll work. And yeah, Egidio will go and...
Okay. Furman heads out with you. The house y'all go to is a little bit out of the domain. It's in that, you know, not exactly where y'all fought the Bali, but off in that direction, just out in that residential area.
Emma would, before they left, make sure to get the address in case they don't answer, and then just notify whoever's domain it is that they will be in the domain, just so they aren't stepping on toes again.
Oh, well, you know, this area out here is kind of unclaimed.
Okay, but if it's on someone's doorstep like last time,
it's you guys and like Clint's domain are like the closest domain.
Okay, if it's not overly close to Clint, I'll just leave it be for now.
But
how about I do anyway?
So yeah, he takes you to this house. You know, you pull up, knock on the front door. Lady lets you in. Lyra, this is Egidio, Baron Egidio.
Pleasure.
Sir, this is Lyra.
Egidio has like the most straight-laced face right now.
He's all business.
Yeah, pretty much. He's just like, yes, please show me the fallen.
She takes you inside. The body is laying there. It's been decapitated. At a glance, you figure decapitation after it had already been, you know, it's fairly, the body is somewhat mangled too. But you figure the decapitation was after that.
Egidio immediately puts his, his latex gloves on, gets to work, does his thing. I'll roll here in a sec when I'm back on my table.
But Furman heads out to the garage, comes back with the shop vac and a little, spray bottle of armor on.
Easy.
I'm not sure what you needed this for, but he did have some out there.
Neil, get to work cleaning.
Okay. Lyra tells you, they hadn't seen him the night, the previous night, which is why she came to check on him. And she seems pretty upset. She just talked to, the night before that, she had just talked to him. The body looks decayed, like it's been here for a week. But, a lot of times when kindred meet final death, their body the deterioration of their body is kind of accelerated.
And he will make sure that he gets the gloves. He's like, just for dramatic effect.
But,
how long has the deceased been here?
Well, like I said, I talked to him 2 nights ago. And then he was supposed to meet up with some of us, last night he didn't, and then when we got up tonight and he wasn't answering his phone, I came over here to check.
So maybe 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah, that would be the longest possible. Yes.
Just making notes.
Is it usual for us to like? I mean, he looks like he's been gone for a while, but
It depends on how old you are.
okay.
The older you are, the more likely you are to turn into a pile of ash.
Okay. And you would know, no thin blood is that old as of yet.
Mm-hmm. Let me make my medicine roll. Just see if I can get anything fun off of it. 3. And specialty. 3 successes.
How many?
3.
Okay. Feeling around the body, there's broken ribs, there's a dislocated shoulder, there's signs of blunt trauma, but there's also lacerations.
Does it scream, now that I know that they're in the area, does it scream lupine?
Not really. You're pretty sure,
A determined cat?
well, not that small. Lupines tend to be big.
Mhm.
Like you saw Sammy when he was morphed out. And from what everybody else has dealt with lupines was saying, most lupines are bigger than that. No, this strikes you more as something like Kyle would do. Clawed, but more human-sized.
Ribs. Let's see. Breaks here.
But,
He does the thing where he has the tape recorder.
Lyra seems a little upset by this, and then steps away into the kitchen.
He just starts muttering. He keeps muttering to himself about what he's seeing on the body.
Furman seems kind of fascinated by everything.
It's just another day in the office for Ichidio. And then when he's done, he'll stand up, just kind of brush himself off, remove his gloves. That's a lot.
What did they do to him?
Well, whatever struck him with enough force to break all of this.
Well, that takes some doing with one of us.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, they I think they broke in the back door.
Look back. This is shattered back there.
Yes. It looks like somebody kicked in the door.
Mm.
The damage being just right around where the bolt would go in.
Oh, okay.
It's like they kicked it and it tore that section of the door frame off.
Gotcha.
A mortal could potentially do it. If a big guy knowing what he was doing, yada yada yada. Anybody that could hit hard enough to be cracking these bones could definitely have forced that door open without any trouble.
If we were playing like a full production thing with vignettes and stuff, you'd see the CSI sequence go on in Ichidio's head. It's like a flash of someone hit the door. But we're not. But that just goes in everyone else's head that's listening in on us. He goes, okay, well, this last part's going to be rather gruesome, so if you had an attachment to him, it's probably best you don't.
I'll go see how Lyra's doing in the kitchen.
For the best. And then he will do his thing. Just turns on the vacuum for so that they don't hear him do what he's doing.
What is he doing?
Clearing the body. He's clearing the body. He's mostly using the armor all to like clear out, like clean mostly. Grabs the body, rolls it up in a carpet.
Okay. You take the carpet that was holding the room together and you roll a guy up in it. While you're doing that, well, no, you had the. Did you have the shop back on, or?
I had it on for a little bit, and
Okay.
then just to disguise the sound of me rolling them up in the carpet, and then I turn it off.
Okay. When you stick your head in the kitchen, Sammy's just kind of patting the lady on the back. She's got a can of beer out and is drinking it, which is a smidgen odd, but yeah, thin bloods.
I also recognized it as, someone who used to be able to do that. Were you close to them?
Lyra nods. Oh yes, me and Franklin were well, we bumped into each other pretty quick after each of us were changed. And it wasn't real safe for us up in Madison, and we made our way down here.
Oh, you're from Madison.
Yes.
Over there.
It's Camarilla controlled, and
so bad.
The Prince of Madison had no use for thin bloods.
I see.
Or maybe she'd use the term Duskborn. I think that's more the Anarch's term.
That is the nomenclature that Egidio has been using the whole time. And then Egidio's like, well, sorry to hear that. And whatever you do, if you were that attached to them, don't look at what I do next. And he takes the carpet up like that and goes to like a rental that he's been using, which is truly the main purpose of the armor roll, is to like clean in there.
Where are you taking him?
Somewhere where he will not be found.
Can I go with you?
That's the point of to not be found.
She opens her mouth like she's going to try to, convince you, and Furman kind of puts his hand on her shoulder.
There are entities out there who can make you say things even if you don't want to. So if you knew, you could potentially give it out, and then... So it's more risk deterrent than anything. I hope you understand.
She kind of shrugged her shoulders.
There is a next life. I hope you find him then.
Furman, do you need any help?
I should be fine.
Oh.
But I appreciate it. Probably best to stick together for the evening, especially
Really,
if this
Vin?
continues.
Come on, Bubba's. Thank you.
But Furman follows you out to your vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
As you're loading him in, he kind of looks back at the house, like he's making sure that Lyra isn't like looking at him.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to sound a little macabre.
Sure. Macabre is what I do.
But could you get me some of his teeth?
She arches an eyebrow.
Thin blood shit.
The thing that we do.
Say no more.
Yeah, it's just he was one of the ones that could walk during the day, and I'm trying to see if I can come up with like something. I've been calling it sunblock, but I mean, trying to come up with something that would let the rest of us do that.
Interesting.
Sunblock, I love that.
Quite literal.
And you know,
did I have a head? Because you said he was decapitated.
he was decapitated, but the head was there.
Okay. Then the head would have been on top of the carpet.
Oh yeah, the neighbors would love that.
Sure. And then
Oh
he'll.
my lord, why?
How many do you need? This is a more situation, or do you want to leave him with some sort of dignity?
You just had to put it like that.
I don't care one way or the other.
Did he have organ donator on his driver's license?
More is more because I'm going to have to experiment to get this to work right.
I'll take all the teeth out.
He already has like a little bag,
Mm-hmm.
like a royal crown bag or something.
Yep. Like it just has like pulled out like some pliers. Just
Please don't be doing this out in front of the neighbors.
Well, I'm assuming this is like leaned over into the trunk of his vehicle or whatever.
in the car.
Looking for jumper cables or something.
Hopefully hiding the head, because you said the head was on top of the carpet, so...
In the car.
Oh, in the car. Yeah, but still on top of the carpet.
I'm sure it's in like a Kroger bag or something.
Yeah.
You know, something handles.
I have
This is
I have
IKEA bags.
stories. I have stories of where I've kept cow heads, or where my grandmother's kept cow heads growing up. So we can get into that later.
Or not.
The old country.
Yes. But yeah, he gets pliers and just yanks the teeth out and then takes them.
Okay.
Let me know how that progresses. I am interested, and I will tell you as one of the barons that will make you all more useful to.
Well, you know, as I told you at first, I don't know that anything we do would help any of you. But
never underestimate the 12 hours you have while the sun's up.
But yeah, but yes, it would be useful for those of us that could learn how to make this stuff.
Well, I'm gonna go put this where it needs to go.
All right, I'll get Lyra out of here.
Stick together. Going to get. I feel like it's going to get worse again.
It just never gets good for us.
It's tolerable, and then it stops. I understand.
And then he gets back into the house.
And then, yeah, he'll drive out to where he usually puts the stuff. As he's unraveling and getting everything ready, is there anything in the pockets and stuff?
Yeah, his wallet's in there.
Anything that looks like it might be of sentimental value?
No, not really. I was going to say a photograph, but he probably just have selfies on his phone of him and his buddies, not photos.
Ashes we begin, to ashes we leave, etc., etc. Then into the ground.
And use that little knack of yours to make sure nobody's going to notice him.
More practical than it is like magic.
You're physically burying him. You just know how to make the ground level.
And just get the last bit of it in. Make it look like there's grass or something.
But you know, you get one of
Pulls
those.
out a few seeds and like starts growing like little like some plants.
Well, if you slide the shovel just right on that top layer, you pick it up almost like it's sod, and then you just kind of re-sod it before you leave.
It's perfect.
It's some of your better work.
Puts probably has like some wildflower seeds and just puts a few down. Okay. That's done. I mean, stretches a little bit. No, he doesn't have to.
Okay.
And then heads back to the office.
All right. While he's been doing that, Emma and Walter, Ada has come by the office.
Ada, Kincaid told you about, or not Kincaid, Miles told you about the folks across the street?
Yes, we've got some people on the roof of the mall keeping an eye out.
Just want to make sure.
Truthfully, having them up there would have been a good idea before this. We should have stopped there.
Could have been way too obvious, too. But since they're being obvious, we can be obvious back. But what you brings to by?
Miles said something about there being a -1. Who do I need to check off the census?
I already forgot the Thin Blood's name.
Furman?
That's on brand.
Huh?
Franklin is the one that died.
Franklin. Yeah. Franklin. He was one of the Duskborns.
She nods her head. Franklin. Ingram was his name.
Mm-hmm. He was helping with various chemicals and stuff. From what I understand, it was pretty roughed up. Egidio went to go check it out, and he'd probably have more details than I would.
Yeah, well, what's one Dustborn more or less, I guess.
It's still a negative overall.
Oh yes, and clearly, if someone has killed one of ours, we need to find out what's going on.
For them to... She's trying to think of a good way to phrase this, but she's basically like, for them to see one of the least powerful of our kind as a threat means we're doing something, right? At least enough to kill him, versus coming after one of us.
Perhaps they're simply targeting the easiest ones they could take out.
As far as I'm aware, the address wasn't in the domain, and she'll show the address. She also would have sent the address to the other members of the Baron chat.
She's like, oh yeah, it's the free area over there. Truthfully, plenty of the kindred of the domain make their lairs out there.
Question: Is that in the same area? Since Emma just sent it out, is that in the same area where Kyle noticed the scent sort of lingering around?
No, the area Kyle noticed the scent was in the domain proper.
Okay.
This was several streets over outside the domain.
Gotcha.
Put the word out for the others to just kind of keep an eyeball on themselves and watch out for each other. We don't know who or what did it yet. Just everyone be even more on guard.
Ada's like, yes. Take ourselves from quite paranoid to very paranoid.
That itchy feeling like the other shoe is gonna drop. I don't like it.
Beige
Been too quiet.
That's how it is with war zones. Along the front lines, you'll have your areas that get quiet for a while. And then the mortars start dropping again.
Hopefully they don't resort to mortars.
And she's not saying this like it's just an analogy. She gets a faraway look when she says that, like she's remembering something.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like...
That was a little too specific.
Hopefully it doesn't come to anything like that again.
Well, no. Our wars are quite a bit different than the Kind's.
For better or worse. Anything else in particular bring you by?
No, I simply wanted to check up on that. I feel like there was something else she was going to say now, and I can think what it was.
Both the storyteller and Ada have forgotten.
Yep. Ada's now reminiscing about the First World War and walks in.
No, that's fine. It'll come back to her at some point.
I don't know why, but in the back of my mind, Walter does not do what I said, but just hearing her expression, I can just imagine him being cheeky and, like, through his messed up teeth, just start making, like, a high-pitched whistle, making that noise of just them shells dropping. But no, that'd be a little too much.
Emma would elbow him for that. For all the good it would do.
He would
Do you want to get punched? That's how you get punched.
What happened? I don't know. Ada just looked at him and tried to fry his brain.
Oh, she just looked at him, started pulling his blood out through his nose. I don't know what's going on.
Apparently there are some lines you don't even cross with vampires. So. We've learned new things today.
But, back at the Dead Man's Drink, Iola, you're people watching, and you see some of the kindred of the domain come in, intermingle with people. Looks like a lot of them are having a rougher time of it because it's everything's locked down and COVID related. People don't necessarily want strangers walking up close to them and talking to them.
Mm-hmm.
A few of them look like they're like you can tell looking at them. These guys are kind of hungry. So this or thirsty, I should say. So this difficulty in feeding is clearly getting some people. Give me a wits awareness if you would.
We're upstairs. I'm making me ramen. That's why.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, you're fine. So what?
I knew your window was kind of dark, but I thought you just nosed out like Duba does.
I mean, the power of Nos is strong, let's be honest.
Three successes.
Okay. You notice one guy, he comes in, you order some food. He's not bothering any of the other customers. Though he's going out of his way to chit-chat a little bit with some of the wait staff. But you notice he's not really eating his food. It goes up to his mouth, maybe he nibbles on it a little bit, but he's not a kindred that you recognize. And you've gotten to the point that most of the kindred in the domain have come by and introduced themselves. So you tend to know most of them on sight, whether you can necessarily remember their names or not. And something else about this guy just seems off. He's just kind of sitting there, kind of, playing with his food. And like I said, talking to the wait staff. And just kind of studying the surroundings.
She's going to put in chat. We have an unexpected guest at the bar.
Kyle's response. Well, then start using your ears.
Ha ha ha.
And no response. Too many of us show up at once, it'll be very obvious. Can you hear anything they're saying?
They're just chit-chatting with the staff and looking around.
Another vendor trying to sell something?
Hasn't talked to me yet. Doesn't seem like it.
Well, don't forget you're inside looking through the window. So they're outside. They're outside in the outside area where customers can actually see it.
Oh, okay.
So you can see that he's talking to them, but you can't unless you can soup up your senses or something.
Let me see. Let me see. What do I have?
Do you have heightened senses?
No, I have sentiency.
Okay.
Nope. She's gonna wait until one of the staff comes in.
Okay. Well, they're constantly coming in and out getting food.
Yeah, and she's gonna, because they all know her, and she's gonna just kind of pull one aside and be like, "Who's that?"
His name's Emery. He's been coming by for the last couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
Usually he eats an earlier dinner than this, but
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's really eating his food today then.
Oh, he always eats like a bird. He's just he's not like a lot of the guys that show up where he just kind of scarfs everything down.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm not in this scene, but I want to know what he orders. Because if he orders something with protein in it, I'm gonna be upset that he's wasting protein.
He orders a steak.
Yeah, does she see what?
It just looks like a hamburger and fries. Just kind of the basic.
Hamburger and fries just sounds really good.
I just ate salmon, so I'm good for now.
I ate an entire pizza about 4, so I'm done for the day. But anyway, yeah, she tell he's become. Oh yeah, he's like a bird, Seems like a real sweet guy.
Recently moved? Or visiting?
Yeah, he just said he just moved to town for work, and then COVID happened, and now he just ain't got much to do. She goes on to just say he comes by here to eat just to get out of the house. So he lives around here somewhere.
Okay. Does Iola get any type of sense? Not something that she would need, but being a Malkavian, or does she get some type of feeling from him?
Are you wanting to use one of your gifts to see if you get some kind of feeling from him?
The only gift I have is premonition.
Kind of a gift.
Yeah, that's the only gift that I have to use.
It's not a bad one in a pinch.
Yeah, let's see. Arouse real quick. I get hungry. But yeah, using premonition.
Alright, and what is the dice pool for that? Or
I had this open and then I closed it.
Alright, level 2 premonition. It's free or one rouse check. I think it's free if I trigger it. No, rouse check if you trigger it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's resolve plus auspics.
Resolve and auspics.
Oh, hey.
4 successes, almost
Pretty
max.
Not bad, not bad, not bad. So you focus on on him. You get a brief glimpse of him and somebody else in a home somewhere. But it's kind of sparsely furnished. They've got folding they've got folding tables. It looks like probably a bedroom, but all that's in there are a couple chairs and some folding tables. And the tables are covered in one table has got some guns and ammunition on it. One table has these little blocks of some kind of material. Almost like if you see a gold bar on TV, it's kind of shaped like that. And there's just a stack of them and some electronic doohickeys on one table. The third table in the room looks like some maps. The two men are standing over the maps, pointing at different areas. You can tell they're talking, but it's like you're watching something without any sound.
Yeah.
But you do get a glimpse of the map, and you can see that the dead man's drink is marked on the map. It's a map of the domain, essentially, and kind of a little bit of the surrounding area in Decatur.
Yeah.
But the map is marked. I mean, the dead man's hand is marked on the map. The mall is marked. There are the Presbyterian Tower is marked. It's marked with a 3-digit number next to it, next to the little red dot.
Do I see the 3-digit number, or
yes.
I can make it out?
Yes, you can. It's 213. You got no sound. Everything you're seeing pretty clearly.
Okay. And is there any numbers marked next to the dead man's hand?
No.
Or dead man's drink? No.
Not on that one. Not on the mall. And then there's a couple of spots outside the domain that are marked with red dots. And you get that, and then you're no time has passed, and you're back at the bar. You spend the next 5-10 minutes kind of puzzling over what you saw, and somebody walks up and sits down to the guy you're watching. You recognize him as the other man in the vision.
Mm-hmm. They're not paying attention at all, right?
Let me roll wits awareness for the first guy. Since you have a tendency to stare very obviously at people. He has probably seen you sitting there, but he doesn't seem to have paid you any extra attention.
You said he hasn't?
No.
The server has left, right?
She's walked off where she talked to you for a minute, and then she wandered back off to work. But you see this new guy sit down. He talks to the guy that's already been there. When one of the waitresses steps over to him, he kind of waves her off like, "Oh no, I'm just meeting him. He doesn't actually order anything."
Gonna take the phone out, turn off the flash, and try to take a picture of the men.
Okay. Give me... Because one of the men is at least sitting generally facing you, so... He might notice you playing with your phone. Subterfuge, maybe?
No.
Let me see.
Maybe like with stealth.
Yeah, I guess this could fall under stealth as much as anything. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with wit stealth.
Unless your subterfuge is higher, then ball out.
No, if that's the case, you ruined it for him.
What's stuff? 2 successes.
Alright, and here's wit's awareness. Oh, you got so lucky. First one that came up was like, ooh, a crit maybe? Oh no, but there were no other successes, period. So yeah, you kind of ease your phone up just in the window enough that you can snap a picture. One guy's face, you more or less get it, more or less straight on. The other guy, you kind of get in profile, but it's a decent pick of the two of them. And they're just there they're there for a minute or two, and then the first one waves down a waitstaff and gets a doggy bag, and they take off.
Is there like a corner store or something nearby that like has a map?
Oh, absolutely.
He's gonna head out to go to the store if it's close by and get a map.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know what I'm actually looking for. Basically down around the very south tip, close to the blood center, basically. Just across down the road. Technically it's across the road out of the domain, but there's a little convenience store gas station there.
Yeah, she'll head there real quick.
And this early in the evening it should still be open.
Yeah, she's going to buy a map and head back to the Deadman drink.
Yeah. You go in there, you grab a map of Decatur. It's like a map of Decatur on one side, a map of Morgan County on the other.
And then when she goes back, she's gonna grab a pen and start marking off what she saw in her premonition.
Okay. All right, Egidio, you have finished ditching the body.
Yep.
You go back to the office.
Yeah. Just I have on the way over, since I took a rental to get there. I don't have it in me to write the notes, but I still have them in my head. And I just really very quickly scribble them as I get up and into the office space.
Okay.
Bunt, Faust. I forget what I wrote.
And Kyle, you've been out patrolling. Do you alter your patrol in any way based on any of the texts that you've seen flying around?
Hearing that there's some randos at his bar that has caught some of his coteries' attention, yeah, he's going to start veering his way back towards the bar.
Okay.
Just to check in with his staff.
So yeah, when you get there, those guys are gone. You walk in, the staff, all says hi. Zeke asked you, how that's going. He was wondering when you get here. They're getting ready to start closing up. You see Iola over in one of the booths with a map, and she's drawing on a map. I mean, not drawing a lot. It's like she's marking something on a map that she got unfolded in.
Do I want to know what you're up to now?
Just the man I was looking for. And
That
she will
feels
hand
like
the map
bread.
to him. got a little insight on the man, and this is what I saw.
And you see where the bar is marked, and the mall is marked, and
Right.
and you know a few random spots like outside the domain.
Mm-hmm.
A quick glance. It's not like it's your house or anything.
Yeah. What time of night is it?
Probably 10 or 10:30. It's still relatively early.
Mm-hmm. He'll roll up the map. He'll walk over to Zeke. It's like, Zeke, how are things going? Everything working well?
Yeah, stuff's been going pretty good. They've got a regular, business going. Obviously, the bar is not making the money it was making before lockdown. Because there's still who's in charge of alcohol licenses? I'm like whoever it is in the government.
People.
Yeah, those people are still kind of yanking him around about whether y'all can serve beer outside, in the roped off parking lot area.
Wait, the alcohol commission, is that what you're talking about?
Yes, probably.
Okay.
It's like I don't think it's the ATF, but it's kind of in there. Hope not, because the ATF shows up, Kyle's dog's gone. But so a little bit of business talk there,
yeah.
If they can get it for sure okayed to serve alcohol out there, that will help.
Mm-hmm.
But and he doesn't know if y'all might have to put up some kind of fence to make it like really a more of a, not indoor, but make the area out there kind of really separate. He didn't know. The rules for that sort of thing are just so particular.
Yeah.
But he's pretty sure y'all can keep the lights on anyway. And more importantly, he's sure you can keep him paid.
Fair enough.
Your buddy Iola's been here all night. With the lockdown and stuff, is it okay for her to be in here? I mean, we're not gonna say anything. She doesn't cause any trouble. I mean, she's a little, she's a little out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all he's got for you, as far as the business is going.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just kind of looks at the map you're holding. Yeah, she left a while back and came back with that.
Yeah.
Just a map of the city.
Apparently decided I needed to know of some locations in the city. The city that I've been born and raised in. That she's a foreigner to.
Like she's found neat stuff and just assumed you didn't know about it already or something?
I guess.
Wait, she marked the mall? Did you know there was a mall over there?
No, I didn't. It's weird. It's like it just showed up.
It's like the Whole Foods in South Park. They just sort of float down. There they are.
Yeah, it's weird how that happens.
I say that I'm not sure what year that episode came out. Now that I think about it.
It's like, I wonder how many balloons that took.
And then Zeke gets distracted by some of the wait staff come by. Their shift's up. They're taking off, and he gets talking to them.
All right, y'all have a good one. Iola, let's go.
Okay.
So where are you two going?
He'll pull out the phone and to Emma. Still at work?
In my head, this worked out a lot better, be self-sustaining, but yes, I'm still at work.
Cool. You're getting some more customers. Let's go.
Crying face emoji.
Alright, so y'all head over to the office.
Kyle's a little dirty. Probably a lot dirty, actually. He's been tromping around in the woods.
He was also
Thank you
dirty.
Thank you for rolling in the mud before coming here. How can I help you?
Map.
It is indeed a map.
He just points at Iola. It's like, this is her show. She's the one that showed it to me. And he just leans back up against a wall and folds his arms.
So, Emery showed up a few days ago at the bar.
Emery?
Yes, Emery. She'll pull out her phone and show the picture that she took of him and his friend. Emery.
Emery look like anyone they've encountered?
No.
Showed up a few days ago.
Looks like a guy.
Showed up. Just
Clearly
moved
Emily.
here for work. But, they don't feel normal.
Okay.
So, kind of had a bit of a premonition. I was trying to delve into him. Apparently him and his buddy stay in a very sparse area that has guns and things that almost weigh as a solid gold brick.
Well, shaped like a solid
shaped
gold.
like a solid gold brick.
C4 shaped like a solid gold brick, or
No,
Isn't that
there was, and then they had this map, and this is everything that was marked on the map.
Okay. Looking at the map. You said one of the hotels was marked?
No, the bar was marked. The
Mall was marked.
The mall was marked. And there were some over in the residential area. There were some houses that were marked.
I said there was like a hotel with a number on it.
The Presbyterian Towers. You're right. The Presbyterian Towers is marked with a 3-digit number next to it. It's the only one that's numbered.
Does she recognize that number for whatever reason, or any of the addresses? Do any of the addresses link up with maybe the location where the Thin Blood was killed? Are any of them her house?
All right. Now Emma still lives in an apartment, right?
Yes.
Okay. Which apartment were you? Where was it we said you were living?
I don't think we 100% decided, but it was within the domain.
Okay. Well, in that case, it would either be in the north, around those apartments, or the Presbyterian Towers, because that's pretty much the two sets of apartments that you've got.
Yeah, one or the other of them.
Okay.
Whichever one allows pets, because she has babysat Shiloh at least twice.
But we'll say it's not the Presbyterian Towers, though. So yeah, you're not sure who lives there. Of the two houses out there, Kyle has already identified that it's not his. Everybody, give me a wits awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Out of curiosity, is one of the locations his old haven?
No.
Okay.
I say kindly fuck you, game.
And the game's like, no, F you. So no successes for Walter.
Just because I'm going to spend a willpower to reroll 2 dice that I got blanks on. Wow, much better.
You know what?
Added one more success. So that brings me up to 4.
I got 3 successes.
3 successes.
3 successes.
No, game. I say piss on you. I get my 2.
All staring very intently at this map, like, reveal your secrets.
Why does this feel like something we did in the last game?
I don't think so, though.
Or what is it?
We've probably had a map stare down in at least one of our games.
Oh, yeah, that's possible.
It feels like the last vampire game we did. We had a scene almost identical to this.
Vampires are sneaky map-looking MFers.
I do not know. But, alright, so... How many successes did y'all get total? I see that Walter got 2.
I got 3.
I only got 3.
I got 3.
3, 3, 4. Okay. Everybody did pretty decent.
Kyle got 4.
I did have 3, but I decided, you know what, I'm reloading. Let me roll more dice.
The local gets more.
Fair.
So, taking the time to really stop and give it a going over, you recognize one of the marked areas as the house that GDO had just gone to.
Oh, fun.
Now, the other house out there, you don't know where that's at. You don't know whose that spot is. It's a couple, it's a couple of blocks away from the murder house.
Murder house.
Wrong game.
Is one of those spots where Kyle went to?
No, those two, the 2 houses that are marked are outside the domain.
Okay.
That little townhouse that you found the suspicious scents around. No, that's not marked.
Right.
Emma's gonna call Furman.
Like text or like a literal call?
She'll try to call first.
2, 3 rings, he picks up. Hello?
Hey, swing back by the office. You left something here.
On my way. There's concern in his voice, but
Yeah.
15 minutes later, he's knocking on the glass again.
I gotta get him the code for the back door.
Do you want to hand that out to everybody?
Just use
Well,
mine.
she changes it probably fairly regularly.
No, you can get people their own.
And I suppose he is your official liaison to the Dustborn faction of the city of the domain. So okay.
The Thin Blood Prince or whatever.
Most of Thin Bloods would get that joke though. The older vampires probably not so much.
Yeah. Like, hey, do you recognize any of these locations? Shows the map.
Well,
What's the house?
Oh, he starts to point at the bar right away, and then you're like, no, the houses. Oh,
yeah.
Well, that's Franklin's house there, and that's Lyra's house there. Why are you?
Call Lyra.
Are y'all
Please have her? No, someone else's.
Oh, he starts digging his phone out.
Contact everyone you can. Tell them change up their locations for a couple nights. Something's. She kind of looks around. Something's tracking people.
Yeah. And he kind of steps away. Yeah, come on. And you hear somebody pick up, and he chats. He tells her, somebody had your house marked on a map, marked on a map.
More subtle than that.
Oh, right.
Hey, you want to spend the night? It's a slumber party.
Hey, I found an Apple AirTag outside your house. I think somebody's stalking you. You might not want to hang around the house the next couple of nights.
Yeah, something like that.
You're being followed. Look right behind you.
And
there's a scream and the line goes dead.
No, not quite. So yeah, he talks to her briefly. And then he starts, he tells she was already, out and about. She wasn't at home. She's not at home now. She knows not to go back.
Get the word out. At least amongst the Dustborn.
Yeah, he starts making more phone calls and similar conversations.
Emma just goes back to quietly seething at her desk.
Like typing behind Emma.
And
What should I type in?
Medical reports.
Mm.
But when Furman finishes the calls, he's like, How are they tracking us down, and why? I mean, there's no Dustborn in the associated with the mall that I know of. I mean, I guess most of us have swung by the Deadman's drink at some point. But
should we get Ada?
What's that 3-digit number there? Does that mean anything to anybody?
Kyle, take a look. Does it?
It was over one of the apartment buildings, right?
Yeah, that was the mark on the Presbyterian Towers had 213 written next to it.
Could be the apartment number. Does Ada keep track of? I'm guessing no, but I'm just asking. Ada probably doesn't keep track of people's addresses or anything like that.
No, vampires tend to keep their haven secret.
Yeah. Do we know of anyone that may live over there?
Not that comes to mind. There's nothing I can think of.
But then you don't know where most people live or sleep. So.
Yeah.
And where was that again? Because I know I live in an apartment complex not that far from the.
But technically outside the domain.
House. Yeah, it's outside.
I think you've got a house rented. I think is what we had said.
Okay.
Because you're across Danville Road, but it's south of the actual Camarilla territory.
Yeah.
Let's get Ada involved. Has both knowledge of, one, she's the census taker. Two, he works with Miss Woodard. She might be able to offer some more insight. Do we want to get Woodard involved or no? I mean, her Deadman's drink is marked on here, so.
I mean,
Also, the sooner you guys learn that, is Furman still there?
Yeah, he's still there.
And JD will go. The sooner you learn that, trick you were talking about, the better, probably.
Yeah.
Let me know if you guys need to replace anything. I'll get it situated.
If they've tracked a couple of us to our homes.
Yeah, you may need to.
I wonder if they've tracked us. I wonder if they've tracked anybody to the lab.
Is the lab marked on here?
He takes Lance. No.
Okay, maybe look at setting it up somewhere else if possible, just to be safe.
Yeah, it would take a little work, but we could probably move it.
Yeah, just.
So if they tracked us to the lab, they'd have probably tracked a lot more of us home.
Yeah, just. You all know how to stay hidden.
Mm.
Just keep staying hidden.
Yeah. But yeah, most of us, I think, have a alternate bolt hole we can go to in absolute emergency.
Looking back, do we want to get Woodard and Ada involved in this?
Well, if Woodard's place is marked, Couldn't hurt.
Looking. Anyone want to do the honors of calling her, or just me?
I'll do it.
That's the best.
And he'll call up the mall.
You get one of Ada's people. Who answers the phone? Mall security.
Hello, there's urgent meeting I need to have with your supervisor as soon as possible.
This is Mr. Adams, correct?
Correct.
I will tell her right away. Where would you like her to meet you?
They'd know about the office.
Yeah, it's
That's right. You've had it up and running for a week or so by now. So
ever swing by my office.
oh, it's Kyle's office.
Yeah, that gets to look like, hey.
But yes, he'll let her know right away. It'll, and he asks if he can put you on hold for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
A couple minutes pass, he comes back. She's on her way. It may be a few minutes. She is going to take a. She's going to take the scenic route getting there.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than just cutting across the parking lot right by the hospital.
Yep.
So yeah, a little bit later, there's a 20 minutes later, so there's a knock on the back door.
Opens it up.
I'm going to assume you have not given Woodard a code.
Not yet. She might just end up making a general access code, but maybe not. She's still debating that. Leads her back.
Yeah, so she's back there. A couple of her goons are back there with her. Ada's with her. But only her and Ada come inside.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of the goons go back to the car. One of them just kind of props up next to the door with a cigarette that he's not actually inhaling through.
Just sitting there burning.
Yep, it lasts longer that way.
Yeah.
But if anybody steps out of the back of the Waffle House, it looks perfectly normal.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Woodard and Ada walk in. Ada wonders aloud, what's so important that it interrupted dinner? Woodard kind of looks like, hush.
Apologies for interrupting your meals. Someone came into the domain speaking to another gentleman and motions to Iola. Iola managed to capture both a picture of them and a hint of a map they would have marked and recreated it for us. We already know what, obviously some of the addresses are, but the mall is marked as well. We're wondering if you knew possibly why it would be marked or any of the other addresses that are marked.
And she's looking at it. Well, if they mark the mall, well, she says if they mark my mall and the dead man's drink, that's, everyone knows the drink is Kyle's, everybody knows the mall is mine. That might have just been marking, the power centers of the domain. Because surely no one would think that either of us use those as our havens, though.
No.
The Presbyterian Towers, that could be somebody's haven. Those two houses could be somebody's haven. Do we know where those three locations? Do we know what they actually are?
We know what one of the addresses is, and that's where we had the -1 this evening. That's why we're a bit more concerned. We've already contacted the other one of the other addresses. That was someone that was an associate of the -1. But
Ada goes an associate in -1, another Dustborn.
another Duskborn, another member of the chemistry club. But if they were targeting Duskborns, marking them all in the Deadman's makes no sense. We don't know, and she points to the Presbyterian Towers, what this one would be marked as. And she would have had asked Iola to show him the picture to see if either one of them recognized the people in it.
Yeah, neither one of them have seen these people before.
They just moved in a couple of days ago.
I see. Could they be... I wonder if they could just be scouting and marking whatever locations they can.
The fact that someone turned up dead at one of the locations makes me think it's more than scouting.
True, but if it was just a Dustborn, that might have simply been them taking he might have been a target of opportunity. Maybe when they traced him back to his house, and while they were scouting around, there was just a good opportunity to take him right then. Are we in contact with the person in this other house? And she points to where Lyra's house is marked.
Yeah, they've been advised not to go back to their house for some time.
Okay.
One of the other Dustborns is spreading the word for everyone to kind of avoid their homes for a while.
We should probably try to contact whoever's in the Presbyterian Towers then.
I could act like I'm making a food delivery.
Yeah, might as well just go and knock on the door and tell them what's going on, if it turns out it's one of us.
Mm-hmm.
Since it's still early enough in the night, perhaps they could find a new safe haven.
Potentially.
Probably go as at least nearby group. I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop, and it's driving me nuts.
Well, this could be the shoe dropping.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more than willing to go up there and knock on a door. I just want to know I'm gonna have someone, backing me up if, it goes unwell.
I can go with you if that's what you're concerned about.
Typically folks just deliver as a single person, so nearby, good, but may
They're not
spook
gonna
them.
see me.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Walter could also come as well.
It's a Gio and Walter, the stealthy brute squad.
Yep.
The stealthy boys.
We will eventually need people to go back into those homes.
Eventually, yeah. But
You don't want the wait to be too long, because if they notice, they'll know somebody's on to them.
Speaking of, just so you're aware, there is a lupine of some description in the domain. I've been stalking him for the past while. While you all iron this out, I'm gonna go back to hunting my prey.
Oh, very well.
Take care you don't become the hunted.
No.
have fun, I guess.
Yeah. Well, if there's a lupine, Woodard's like, if there's a lupine in the domain, that does need to be flushed out.
Question of
what
how
I'm
this
doing.
goes.
So it's frankly unnerving that there could be a lupine in the domain and bodies aren't already hitting the ground.
It's not a wolf.
God help us if those things get clever.
Well, from what I understand from running into it before, it's not a wolf. So, who knows? Anyway,
I'm still responding to correspondence, so you might get lucky.
who knows? Either way.
I'll let you know what goes on at the tower.
And he'll head out.
Okay. Alright, so Kyle's going back out to make sure, Sammy's not in the area. Or if he is,
Basically.
to find him.
Effectively, yes. That is the plan.
Emma's going to do a fake delivery to Presbyterian Towers 213.
Yeah, and with having a Gidio and Walter, she'll give Miles a heads up and just let the brute squad know to be nearby, but not obvious nearby. On call.
There is you got the Presbyterian Towers, kind of, well, which map do I have?
Right now
yes.
we're looking at the one, yeah.
That is the correct one. So yeah, the Presbyterian Towers are here, basically like across a couple of little streets, from the Blood Center and the other stuff in that area. The extra little squad that Miles has recruited is going to be in the parking lot of this building.
That map is not showing on ours. We're still on the one with the hotels and the bank.
I've got it up where I can see it and the streamers can see it.
It's all good.
So as I was saying, Presbyterian Towers here, which is over by the Blood Center area. This here is an empty business. Used to be a pediatric place, used to be a general doctor's thing. I think it was a restaurant before that. So, some of the extra help that Miles can call in, they're going to be on their bikes parked in that parking lot.
Cool.
He gives you a number that you can send an SOS. Now, he warns you, they're not subtle. It'll be busting through the door kind of stuff. But if you need them, just SOS this number.
The not subtle squad, yeah. We got the subtle squad and the not subtle squad.
It's the subtle brute squad and the brutish brute squad.
They're bruja.
Iola, are you going with them?
She needs to hunt before she goes.
Oh, is she getting kind of hungry?
Yeah, just a bit.
Okay. Where would she like to hunt? Because it's probably getting close to 11 by now. So most business, especially during COVID, most businesses are shut down now.
Even Waffle House?
No, I don't think. I bet you the Waffle House is still open.
Probably takeout only.
Waffle House is always open.
I mean, they do use it to. They have the Waffle House meter.
Yep.
I think ours around here went takeout only, so it might be takeout only.
But yeah, you can still potentially hunt that way. You just have to order some food.
That's fine.
Park in one of the places where the people inside can't see us quite as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Kyle is on patrol. Iola's walking over to the Waffle House, which is just right next door.
Yep, always a Waffle House.
Woodard and Ada just, they're heading back to the mall.
Yeah, we'll let them know how it turns out.
Mm-hmm. And then Emma, Walter, and Egidio will head to Presbyterian Towers. So Iola, if you want to give me your hunting roll.
Yes. Five.
Very good. You zip over there. You order some food. They bring it out to you. A little bit of flirting. You offer to whisper something in their ear.
slake hunger.
How much are you taking?
2.
Okay. That's good. Any more than that would, aside from just hurting them, would be a weirdly long time.
Yeah, any more than that, and I'd have to kill them. So yeah.
Well, no, I think at 3 you just start damaging them.
I would to slake my last hunger.
Oh, I got you. You don't need to take any more than that. I got you.
I don't need no more than just slaking 2.
So yeah, you leave him there blissed out, and he stands there until somebody sticks their head out the front door and yells at him, get back to work. But you're already gone by then. Meanwhile, the other 3 make their way over to the Presbyterian Towers.
I really hope we don't find another body.
I got 6 successes to hide.
Okay.
On a crit.
A hunger dice crit?
No.
Okay.
Oh.
And then I assume Walter's all nosed up. All right, Emma. So you're strolling in with your, food bag.
Yep. Ball cap on. COVID mask on.
You walk in.
On Emma as possible.
Guy at the front desk looks up at you, gives you a nod, because, this is not the first time you've been in this building.
Yep. They probably are getting a lot of food delivery.
Oh, yeah. But even before that, I think you've specifically hunted in the tower before.
Yeah.
At least once.
She'll make sure to, maybe keep the door open a little bit longer than need be, accidentally drop her keys or something, and just kind of be keeping it open with, a leg or something to make sure the other 2 get in.
Mm-hmm. You're a well-oiled machine. You are professionals.
Which means something will go catastrophically wrong at any point.
No.
Going up to 213.
Okay. 2nd floor, 13th door. Fairly simple.
Waits a second because she assumes Egidio and Walter are both in position. They probably discussed this on the way over and all, so... And just kind of knocks on the door and be like, "Hey, I've got a food delivery."
You hear a voice inside. "I didn't order anything."
It says 213, man. If you can just at least open the door and sign off that you didn't order it, and I can cancel. I just got to get some kind of, verification. Otherwise, I got to pay for it, man. Please just open the door. I'll even step back. I'm masked up and everything. You can look out through the peephole and see I'm masked up.
And you do see a little, you can see the peephole dark into somebody, who's looking through.
She will at least take a step backwards. Did she recognize the voice at all?
Not muffled through the door, no.
She's going to turn on heightened senses, too, just to catch any other noises that may come through.
Alright, give me wits awareness.
Blood surge, just to give me some more wits. Uh, 5.
That's pretty good. You roll your rouse for your blood surge.
Yeah. I got hungrier, but I'm not deadly hungry.
Okay. And the enhanced senses, that's your level 1, so it doesn't cost anything?
Yeah, it doesn't cost anything to use the enhanced senses, but just to rouse it. Or blood surge.
You can vaguely, you hear somebody moving around, of course, and you can vaguely hear something sound like it's bubbling in the background.
It's either alchemy or water pipe.
So yeah, the door opens. As it's opening, you hear a voice. Oh, hey, sorry. One of the other guys said he ordered something. He just didn't tell me. Sorry about that.
She's gonna say, yeah, it had on here, and she's gonna, I can't remember the Thin Blood's full name. The kind of head Thin Blood.
Furman?
Yeah, Furman Dorsey ordered it, and she's gonna, like, make eye contact with the guy. He dropped by the office, apparently, and said you needed something.
He kind of freezes when you say the Furman name. And you realize that, you know, when he was saying that, he whips the door open, and he'd whip the door open pretty quick. It was like stepping through. And when you see him, even wearing a mask, you recognize him. He's a kindred you've seen around. Actually, any of you that saw him would probably recognize him. Egidio knows him pretty well. You see Solo. And when you say the Furman name, he just kind of stopped. Confused look. And then he kind of squints down. Emma?
We need to speak.
Is it? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
She knows Egidio and Solo know each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She'd kind of glance over. Just here on out of a concern. Can we pop in for a second?
And Egidio just like decloaks out of everything. It's like, come on.
Okay.
Hi.
Oh man. I thought you were just I thought you were the food delivery person that got the wrong address. I thought I was going to get a snack. Oh well, come on in.
Yeah, please no snacking. And walks in, makes sure the door stays open long enough to let in the Dorito.
Dorito closes it himself.
Can he close it without breaking stealth?
Technically. I guess if it specifically says opening, closing doors.
I think it's kind of interacting with stuff. But,
yeah, I think it's interacting with stuff, but it's also like making too much noise will break it as well.
You don't have to make a lot of noise closing a door.
Still interacting.
You choose to.
Yeah.
Emma will make sure the Dorito gets in and then pull the door closed behind her.
Mm-hmm.
So how did y'all find this place? And you walk in, and you know the apartment it's rigged up like some sort of lab. Not so much a sciencey lab. You see, you know, he's got some kind of mat down with seagulls done in a circle, and you know.
She'll just kind of motion to Egidio. Egidio, you know Solo better. You can break the news to him.
You've been holding out on me.
You knew I had a lab somewhere, or a study area somewhere.
This place has been compromised, and you need to get rid of it.
What?
Place has been compromised. You gotta go.
Well, I know it's been compromised since y'all showed up. What, have y'all been trying to track me down?
No. We received intelligence from that there's an individual who's been tracking these different locations down. Does he have the map? I feel like he has the map.
At least a picture of the map,
Got
maybe.
the map, got the map, got the
Maybe
map,
even a
got
copy
Take
of
a
the
picture. I'll take the picture and like put specifically where we are right now.
Yeah, you show me the map. And y'all found this from some guy?
Yeah.
Probably also have the picture of the guy too.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot it from Iola.
Yeah.
That guy.
He looks at that like I don't know either one of them.
Yeah.
And they better hope I don't find them.
Well, I can't tell if they're, you know, kind or not, so.
He walks around and starts packing up some books, and you know.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, I'll get some.
The concern was because one body's already shown up at another address. We want to make sure no more bodies show up tonight.
You dropped Furman's name. Why in the world are you dropping the Dustborn?
Because it was another Duskborn that was also into science.
They're going after our scientists.
What I do and what the Dustborn do are not the same thing. He looks offended.
What I do and what you do are very different, but we still have a little bit to learn from each other.
Yes, what I do and what you do at least makes some amount of sense.
I'll give you that one.
Regardless, they're going after anyone that may be able to use powers without originally having them, or by creating powers.
Or sweet lab setups, I guess.
Or, yeah, maybe they just want a really sweet lab setup, which, why did they mark the Deadmans in the mall then?
Maybe there's a Tremere or some sort of ritualist in the mall. I don't know.
We know this is just the player, not the character. Ada's Tremere.
That's right.
Yeah. They're after the ritualist.
They're going after the casters. They're geeking our mages.
They're trying to geek the wizards.
You geek the glass cannons and everything else will come crumbling down.
Hey, you guys pack this up. I'm gonna just make a call and let the others maybe know to watch out for their casters and ritualists.
Yep.
And she'll just do that kind of behind the scenes while this is going on.
Yeah, I'll help Solo.
Yeah, he's just packing up the old Grimorums and particularly expensive pieces of equipment he can carry with you.
Hey, you need a hand? I got room in the rental.
No, if you'll help him carry it down, he can pack it in his car.
Yeah, easy enough.
Does he need to go back to his haven?
I'd recommend you don't.
Yeah.
If you have any kind of way of scrying, I think that's what they call it in D&D. That would be helpful here.
Well, he's got a backup stop. Yeah, backup place that he can run to.
Mm-hmm.
It's inconvenient, but
happens.
Yeah. Well, he knew stuff was dangerous. It's why he had his lab set up in its own spot.
Wise move. Wow, I got the. If someone's targeting our ritualists, what do they want? Do they want to expose a bunch of drug labs? I don't know.
Emma, you were stepping outside to.
Yeah, she's gonna call the other barons and be like, "Hey, just a heads up. I've just heard stuff buzzing around. There's some big anti-vaxxer people around, just kind of going on and on about the scientists. So I know you guys know a couple scientists. If you can reach out to them, just kind of make sure they know to be careful when they're out and about."
So, you send that text, and just as you're putting your phone back in your pocket, you get a ping, of receiving a text. Which, your first thought is probably, well, that's a quick response.
Yeah.
But it's from the brute squad outside.
Ah, fuck.
Takes you what you know. There's a lot of police pulling up into the Presbyterian Towers parking lot.
She immediately calls Egidio.
He is?
Bell's been rung, cops, go. Probably something a little bit more stealthy than that, but along those same line. Hey, trailers are over, we gotta get into the movie. Something that encourages speediness. A sense of urgency.
Well, I was assuming you had just stepped right outside the apartment to make the call, so.
Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah, no. She probably just stepped outside the apartment.
Not down, to the ground level and back out,
Yeah, and then she'll just pop her head back in and be like, "We're made, we gotta go."
Just looks at the collection of Erlenmeyer flasks he just picked up. He's like,
all this beautiful glassware.
puts it back.
Solo hears the exchange, it's like, but the backpack that he's thrown, that he's put the grimoires in, he throws that up over his shoulder.
Anything you can fit in the food bag, I can get into my car. They're not gonna, just
It's
something.
It's just glass at this point. It's fine.
He slides the laptop in there, like a couple pieces of equipment.
She'll make sure to maybe put the food bags over it, just to disguise it as much as possible. Maybe like bust a lining to put it in there.
I miss when the perpetrators could just burn a house down to get rid of evidence. He leaves.
You cannot burn the towers down.
He leaves and starts cloaking back up.
Can Walter carry anything while stealthed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he can carry.
Done it before.
I don't think he can carry a person that way. I'd have to look and check and be sure. But yeah, he can carry some stuff. Now he can't
Would he be able to take the laptop and the grimoires if Solo would give him up?
Oh, absolutely.
She'll bring that up and be like, he's far better at being invisible than we are.
And Solo's like, the laptop he has no problem with. The books, he's kind of like,
you have my word.
yeah, needs must when the devil drives here.
Yeah.
It's not like they're going, it's not like the Nosferatu really have any use for such things. It's not their kind of information.
Walter, please swear to me you will, just for the reassurance of the Tremere, please swear to me that you will not open these or even look at them, and they will be returned as soon as possible, probably when we get out of range. And we're walking and talking.
I was gonna say, time's wasted. Come on.
Yeah, we're walking and talking.
You basically hear Walter in the lowest tone he can, without not break obfuscation, like, you have my word.
Alright, he hands the book over. Or the books.
And she'll do the same with the laptop.
Oh, the amount of forbidden knowledge I have within my grasp.
Yeah, let's get out of here alive.
We'll
We'll
leave it on that for now.
take a serendipitous route back. Meet you at the office.
Alright, so do y'all go out the way y'all came in?
Absolutely not. I go in the back way. I go out the back way. I'm cloaked.
Walter follows as you do, just like well,
Walter can't see it, Gidio.
Huh?
Ah, well, crap. You're right.
If they,
I would probably use some type of back entrance that he could
Yeah.
easily get out of.
Emma will go out the front just because she came in the front, and be like, it was wrong delivery address.
Alright, so which way would Solo go?
If he knows there's cops, I would hope he would be stealthy.
I don't know that the Tremere are known for stealth specifically. I mean, he's not gonna go doing something
He's
like
intelligent.
big, stupid, obvious. No,
He's a large Samoan man, so
he's going to stand out a little bit.
He's intelligent, though, and he knows if they are coming, and he knows that his lab has been made, he knows they might be coming for his lab.
So yeah, he's gonna go out the back way as well. So as them three head out the other way, there's elevators on the other side of the building. But Solo's gonna recommend y'all take the stairs.
Yeah.
If the police are like seriously raiding this place, there'll probably be some officers coming up the stairs. But if it's just one or two at a time, he can handle those.
He's like, I can do something as well just to make him forget about me.
But you said you were going out the front. So Emma's going back to the elevator and down,
Yeah, like nothing's wrong.
Yeah, the door opens. There's a horde of cops.
Oh, jeez, it's wrong address.
One of the officers sort of giggles at you.
Am I good to go by?
One of the police looks back at the guy at the door.
Tacos in here if you guys want some.
He's like, "Oh yeah, she's a food delivery person. She's in and out all the time." Well, I mean, she's in and out some.
It's a really busy time of the. Unfortunately busy. I mean, she's playing up, looking really nervous. Like, like nervous, like cop, nervousness, not like I'm guilty nervous.
It's all the same.
I mean, it probably
It
is,
really
but
is.
But
they're probably used to people.
But yeah, when the guy at the front desk is kind of like, oh yeah, you're a known quantity. They kind of,
She keeps her.
they excuse you to the side, and then they load into the elevator, and some of them go up the stairs.
Be safe. She looks over at the guy at the front desk. What's going on?
Apparently, they got some kind of tip that somebody's running a drug lab out of one of the apartments.
Holy shit! I mean, times are rough, but man, that could damage everybody.
I'm hoping it was just somebody pranking.
Oh man, I hope so.
I mean, it's mostly retired people. I mean, not everybody, but it's mostly retired people here. I mean, I guess you can have old meth heads too.
Maybe it was an old chemistry teacher or something.
A college age kid with him.
His college child.
He snickers and he turns his laptop around that he's got on the desk. He's been watching Breaking Bad.
That's what I thought.
Perfect.
It's all a little too spot on the nose. I'm just gonna go. I'm coming next time I come back though. You got to tell me what happened.
If I'm here, I'll fill you in.
Fantastic, and just kind of gives him a nod. And you want the rest of these tacos? It was the wrong address.
Oh, sure.
Leaves them with him and heads on out. And goes to her vehicle and kind of like fiddles with her phone for a second. She blush of life to hyperventilate. No. No, she doesn't do that.
And the rest of the guys are going out the back way. So y'all are going downstairs. You hear a door open the next floor down. A couple of officers are coming up the door, or coming up the stairs, I should say. As soon as he heard the door, Solo, while he was moving with some speed, when the door opens, he stopped and he just starts going downstairs like at a normal, I got all the time in the world kind of pace. When the officers stopped to question him, he basically he locks eyes with one of them. Forget I was here, going about your business. That officer takes off past him, past the other two. His buddy's like, what the heck? And then Solo locks eyes with him, does the same thing. Now we're about out of time. I won't roll. We'll just say it works. But and y'all are on down. You pick out the back doors, and you manage to slip out the back.
It just walks like nothing.
The cool guy walking away from explosion kind of walk.
Yep.
But so
Back straight.
Now I feel like I need a snack.
Thinking murder.
But it's like, I'll have to wait, see if they thin out before I go for my car, I guess.
Probably a good idea. You didn't actually have kind drugs up there, did you?
No.
Yeah, they're not gonna find.
I mean, there's some weird substances that they'll raise their eyebrows about, but nothing too illegal.
Any blood?
Yes, in the refrigerator. It's disguised in wine bottles. As long as they don't really check the wine bottles, it should be fine.
That's clever.
That's a good idea, actually.
I mean, he's like, it's not drinkable. Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. Well, not drinkable for you.
But
Clearly never had to subsist on very little.
No, I have not. I mean, no disrespect.
Take it where you can get it. That's all I'm saying. And then Egidio will. Good luck out there. Slaps someone like a large. He's like a large biceps. Just slaps him. Just heads out.
Emma would wait by her car for a few in case any of them come towards her car. Like the
Solo heads out, because you can see the mall perimeter road up there. So he heads over this way, you know, to where there's that wooded area. You know, just gonna wait, you know, wait out the cops, and if they thin out, he'll go get his car.
And then I'll head to Emma's car.
Okay.
And once everyone is aboard, she will head back to the office.
Looping a long way around.
Oh yeah, definitely
The curious route.
taking a long way around, maybe stopping somewhere else on the way kind of thing. Parking somewhere that she usually doesn't park to go back into the office.
Well, there's plenty of other businesses in that area that you could park at. Especially at night when nobody's there or paying attention.
Yeah. Any of the other Baronries answer back about the anti-vaxxers and the scientists text?
In and amidst all this excitement, you have gotten some messages back, you know, that they will, they'll keep, they told their buddies to keep an eye out.
Cool.
Somebody might come by tomorrow to talk to you about it. You know, just to get more detail.
Yeah.
I.e. to make sure they interpreted your coded message correctly.
Yep.
Alright, so you look back around. Iola, where do you go after you finish your hunting?
What time is it at this point?
Oh, midnightish. 1, something like that.
She'll probably wait, go back into the building, wait to see if anybody shows back up. And if nobody does, she'll probably head home.
Okay. Well, Emma, Walter, and Egidio show back up. Oh yeah, where would Furman have gone during this? I guess he just left to find a bolt hole.
Yeah, probably help the others out.
But, alright, so y'all are grouping back up. Well, Kyle's on patrol. The rest of you are grouping back up at the office. And we will wrap there for tonight.
They're trying to geek the wizards.
Almost a well-oiled machine here.
Almost. Oh, maybe y'all pulled it off. The unexpected come up, y'all dealt with it fairly well. So anyway, hope y'all had fun.
Oh yeah.
Always.
I enjoyed running. Hope anybody that comes by and watches the stream after the fact, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you show up next week. If you're looking for more games, there's more games on Direbear. Just check the schedule below. I think we got 2 other games going on at the moment. Anyway, check the schedule.
Check the schedule, join the Discord.
Oh yeah, there's a Discord down there.
Ring the bells. Do the things.
And,
like and subscribe.
Social media, consume.
But also produce. When you're streaming, you're also producing. So there's that.
We're producing.
Well, that's true.
Consuming.
That's true.
Consume.
So anyway, once again, I was your storyteller for the evening, Jason, and with me was Rafi as Iola, Duba as Walter, Sarah as Emma, Eric as Kyle, and Jeremy as Egidio. And we will see y'all next time.